Your brain was not designed for megacities, noise, crowds, constant notifications, and that subtle feeling of being slightly tense all the time. But the most concerning part is this: we've become so used to this background that we no longer notice how the city is slowly draining our nervous system. In this video, you will learn why the megacity overloads the brain, what signals your nervous system is sending, and how to reduce hidden urban stress. The brain wasn't built for the city. For most of human history, the brain evolved in a completely different environment. Less noise, fewer people, fewer visual stimuli. The nervous system was shaped in conditions where sudden sounds and rapid movements often signaled potential danger. Today, the megacity creates the opposite environment. Our brain ends up in a state of constant background activation. And the problem is that this load rarely feels like obvious stress. It accumulates quietly. Sensory overload. The modern city is a continuous stream of stimuli: bright signs, moving traffic, surrounding conversations, phone notifications. For the nervous system, this means one thing: constant processing of massive amounts of information. Even if you consciously ignore the noise or movement, the brain is still processing it. This is called background cognitive load. Over time, it begins to drain the resources of attention and self-regulation. Stressor number 1: noise. Urban noise is one of the most underestimated stress factors. It's important to understand that the nervous system reacts to noise even when you think you've gotten used to it. The body remains in a state of mild alertness. This can show up as increased fatigue, irritability, difficulty concentrating, and shallow sleep. Irregular, sudden noise has the strongest impact. Car horns, loud conversations, unexpected transport sounds. The brain interprets these sounds as potentially important, and each time, a microspike of tension occurs. Stressor number 2: decision overload. In a megacity, we are constantly making decisions: what to buy, where to go, what to choose, what to respond to. At first glance, this seems minor, but every decision requires the prefrontal cortex, the brain region responsible for control and planning, to work. When there are too many decisions, a phenomenon psychologists call decision fatigue appears. Signs include: it becomes harder to make decisions by evening, procrastination increases, and there is a growing desire to decide nothing. This is not weakness. It is system overload. Stressor number 3: constant rush. Megacities have a unique psychology, the psychology of hurry. Even when you are not late, the environment sends the same message: go faster, walk faster, respond faster, switch faster. The nervous system gradually adapts to this pace, and a state of mild tension becomes the new normal. Over time, this can lead to chronic internal tension, difficulty relaxing, and problems falling asleep. Signs your nervous system is tired. Check yourself. Urban exhaustion rarely feels like obvious stress. More often, it is masked. Pay attention if you notice constant background fatigue, increased irritability, difficulty concentrating, a desire to escape into silence, and a sense of overload by evening. If several of these resonate, your nervous system may already be running in overdrive. Why we don't notice the overload. The most deceptive aspect of urban stress is adaptation. The nervous system is very good at getting used to things. What initially caused tension gradually begins to feel like normal background noise. This creates the normalization effect of overload. A person thinks, everyone lives like this, I'm just tired, it's nothing special. But the body continues accumulating tension, and eventually, the resources begin to run out. Physiology. What happens with cortisol? When the nervous system remains in a state of background tension for a long time, the stress hormone, cortisol, comes into play. Normally, cortisol is our ally. It boosts concentration, helps us wake up in the morning, and mobilizes the body when needed. But in the context of a megacity, something different often happens. Cortisol levels remain moderately elevated for too long. This state doesn't feel like acute stress. It's usually experienced as constant fatigue, internal tension, an overloaded mind, and difficulty recovering. Over time, chronically elevated cortisol can affect sleep quality, energy levels, emotional resilience, and the ability to concentrate. It's important to understand that the body doesn't distinguish between dangerous stress and urban overload. For the nervous system, constant noise, hurry, and an information stream are also stressors. Who is more vulnerable to urban stress? Although the megacity affects almost everyone, some people react significantly more strongly. Those especially sensitive include highly sensory-sensitive individuals, introverts, people who work with a large flow of information, those who spend little time in silence or nature, and people with chronic sleep deprivation. If you notice that you tire more quickly in noisy environments, it's not a weakness, it's a feature of your nervous system. In more sensitive people, the stimulus filter works differently. The brain lets through more signals from the surrounding environment. On one hand, this provides more refined perception, higher empathy, and keen observational skills. On the other hand, overload occurs faster. The good news is that the nervous system can be supported and restored. Powerful practical block. How to reduce urban stress. Now for the most important part, what really helps the nervous system in a big city environment. You don't need to radically change your life. Small but regular actions are effective. For example, sensory breaks during the day, 5 minutes of silence, a walk without headphones, gazing out a window into the distance, or closing your eyes for a minute. Even short pauses reduce background activation of the nervous system. It's impossible to completely eliminate urban noise, but its impact can be reduced. Noise-cancelling headphones, calm background music, white noise for sleep, soft earplugs at night if needed. The goal is not perfect silence, but a reduction of peak irritants. One of the most effective strategies is an evening slowing ritual. Dim lights, a warm shower, calming music, and minimal screen exposure 30 to 60 minutes before sleep. Consistency is more important than complexity. Micro habits that protect the nervous system. Sometimes it's the micro habits that provide the most sustainable results. Try adopting 2 to 3 habits from the list. Don't start your morning immediately on your phone. Take 3 slow breaths before responding to a message. Walk slightly slower for at least 10 minutes a day. Take short breaks between tasks, and look into the distance more often rather than only at screens. These actions may seem simple, but they gradually reduce the overall level of background tension. The big city will not disappear, but you can change how your nervous system lives within it. It's important to remember one simple thought: urban stress rarely arrives loudly. More often, it accumulates quietly and imperceptibly. That's why small daily actions have such great power. If you resonate with behavioral psychology, brain function, and practical self-regulation techniques, subscribe to the channel. Comment below what you have already noticed in yourself and which practice you will try first. See you in the next videos.